Nicole Barton, otherwise known as the Wellbeing Writer. Welcome to the show this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And Nicole, although you're UK based, you're actually in Bali at the moment. Tell me how you got out there. What led to? Are you on holiday, or are you writing from there? What's the deal?
Yeah, basically, I have been to Bali several times, and I didn't actually intend to come back, but it's kind of it's a place where it's kind of magical, so it feels very special. So yeah, when I originally came out here 3 years ago, I was almost kind of searching for myself and trying to fix myself. So kind of since then, I've been on a journey and realised actually nothing to fix, and we're not. This journey is a little bit different this time. So yeah, here I am again, and I kind of just found myself here. But I'm basically here to write, and I'm organising some retreats to help people kind of reconnect back to themselves. So yes, it's exciting.
So are you hosting the retreats in Bali?
Yes, yeah, I will be. Yeah, there'll be one later this year, and then it'll be kind of an ongoing thing, really. Yeah.
So have you permanently moved to Bali now then?
No, I'm living in London, which again is another place that I love. But yeah, so I'm going to be based in London, but then I'll be out here for the retreats and just as and when I feel I want to be.
Okay. So yeah. Take us back. You first went to Bali as part of your travels to find yourself. Why did you think you needed to find yourself or fix yourself?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So basically, a little while ago, many years ago, I became ill. So I used to be a brand manager, and I had a very stressful job. And I became ill with something called chronic fatigue syndrome. And so I actually lost my job. And so from then on, I was just kind of on this journey to try and fix my health, I guess. And I kind of scoured the globe really for loads of different wellbeing tools and techniques that could help me to become better and to get back to who I was really. But yeah, so it felt like a tough time, but actually what I realized now in hindsight was that it kind of happened for a reason, because I was able to do what I had always wanted to do, because funnily enough, I actually always wanted to kind of be doing what I'm doing now. So it was kind of just one of those moments in life that repointed me back to where I was meant to be.
So you had this fantastic job, but it was stressful. We hear that all the time, how you might like your job, but when the stress gets too much, I mean, we need to have the right balance of stress, don't we? Not too much, but enough to kind of make us get out of bed in the morning. So do you think it was the job that caused your chronic fatigue syndrome?
What I see now is that it was stress was a huge part of it. But what I see deeper now is that our stress comes from our stressful thinking. So any feelings that we have come from our thinking. And that's not to say it's in our heads at all, because it's a very real imbalance. And for a good time I couldn't walk, and it was about rehabilitating and just kind of taking the pace a lot slower. So yeah, in a way it was very much driven by stress. And once I learned that actually it was really important to start putting myself first, rather than keep trying to firefight everything, and just taking some time for me and creating space, that then helped me to see the truth and to find some clarity.
So how did you fix yourself then, from not being able to walk to travelling the globe again? How did that work? What strategies and tools did you put in place to recover?
Yeah, well, there were lots of different things that I tried, and I always found that actually people were kind of always pointing you to something. When they found out that you were ill, they'd be like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? So I basically tried everything. And what I eventually found was that I was then burning myself out from trying loads of these different things, because I was running around kind of just trying to do everything that everybody said still in order to try and fix myself. And so eventually I realized that if I just allowed myself to settle, and kind of stop trying almost to heal myself, just allow it to be, you know, exactly as it was in that moment. In that moment I needed some rest, so I kind of just stopped trying to fix myself, and in doing so it created space for me to drop out of my head, which then, you know, because being in your head can be quite exhausting, and when I did that, eventually I managed to start getting better.
For the skeptics amongst our listeners, that sounds really quite far-fetched. You got stressed with your job, you went and tried all these different therapies and then stopped and then just kind of relaxed and then you got better. So is that an oversimplification, or is that kind of a summary of what happened?
No, I mean, it is something that sounds really simple. And I guess on one level, you know, it's what I saw was that we are living in the feeling of our thinking all of the time. And so all of our feelings and our life experience is created from our thoughts. And in seeing that, it allowed me to kind of drop out of my head. And whilst it seems so obvious to say, oh, well, you know, we're living in our thinking and that shapes our reality, I heard something deeper in that. And I heard that there's something, you know, we're universally guided and that life had a plan. And it seemed to make sense because actually life had redirected me to be doing what I wanted to be doing now. And so, yeah, I just heard it in a different way, I think. So on one level, it can seem really simple, but actually there's a more deeply profound message within it that I heard.
So tell us what you're doing now then, Nicole.
So now I am I share this wisdom through mentoring. So I help people to be able to reconnect back to their truth as well. My experience and sort of tapping them back into their own truth. So I do that, but I also am a writer, so I love to share articles and help people to see different about who we really are and how life really works in that way. And yeah, as well as that, I'm kind of planning some retreats in Bali, which will be really exciting, and lots of events and workshops and things to help people.
Wonderful. So your website, tell us what your website is, Nicole, so people can find you to find out about your wonderful retreats, assuming that they're on the website, are they?
They will be soon. I'm just planning the retreats as we speak, as I'm here in Bali. But yeah, my website is www.wellbeingwriter.co.uk. And on my website, I write blogs about the kind of insights that I've had that have helped me to recover. Or to see, it's not so much about helping me to recover, to see that we're okay no matter what, if that makes more sense.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the universe having a plan. It's amazing, isn't it, how things just kind of happen. And I found the older I get, the less I do, the less I try, the more I'm achieving. And it's quite remarkable how things come, because you know, you often hear about people can't have children and they have IVF and they try and they try and they try, and when they run out of money, they're exhausted, they give up. Oh look, they get pregnant. How amazing is that? And the stress is just permeates throughout our whole life, doesn't it? Stress is everywhere.
Yeah, and really I think stress is just a product of our heads being so full. And when I talk about that, often people sort of think that we have to change our thoughts and, oh well, let's start changing our thoughts to be more positive. And it isn't, for me, it's not about that, because that's just kind of denying what's going on. It's about actually just seeing that our thoughts are our thoughts and they can't really impact us, because just because there's a thought in our head doesn't mean that it's true. So it's just kind of seeing them as kind of floating around, and seeing that that's not who we really are.
We have choices. Yeah, choices, yeah. Isn't it?
That's it. And who we really are is part of this amazing infinite universe, and it's kind of just for us.
Wonderful. Well, good luck with your retreats. They sound idyllic, and what a wonderful place. I've never been to Bali, but I've seen some magical pictures, and you seem very happy and settled. So good luck to you. You look a picture of health, so you're walking your talk. It's fantastic. So, there's a couple of songs that I asked you to choose, and you've suggested "Let Go" by Frau. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Why did you choose that one, Nicole?
I think because for me, actually, I heard this song first in Bali, actually, during a yoga training that I was doing. That was 3 years ago. And it was just a song that really resonated with me, because it was all about just kind of letting go and embracing, it's about embracing the breakdown. There's beauty in the breakdown, is in the lyrics. And I thought I really resonated with that, because actually we think that there's something wrong with being, not okay. And it's just part of the human experience. So
absolutely, it's about recognizing where we're at and allowing those feelings to flow through us, but not staying there, isn't it? So it's acknowledging and moving on. The other song you've chosen is "Wise in the Ways" by Francie Love.
Yes, yeah, and that one is because there's just a wisdom within all of us that we can't always see, because our thoughts they're kind of the clouds in the blue sky, and the blue sky is the wisdom. So it's just pointing people back to that, really. It's like underneath all of our thinking about who we are, and underneath all of the feelings that come from that, is this wisdom that's, innate to all of us, just like our well-being is innate. And so, that just was a nice song to remind people of that.
So if you were to give one top tip out of all the experience and knowledge that you've gained over the last few years, what would it be?
Just to see that our thoughts aren't necessarily true, and to see the link between our thoughts and our feelings, and know really impact us, because who we are is what's underneath that, and it's part of this infinite universe that we're all connected to. So just knowing that our innate state is joy and health and well-being and anything that we want it to be.
Marvellous. Anything we want it to be. On that note, we'll finish. That's lovely, Nicole. Thank you. So wellbeingwriter.co.uk, and best of luck with your retreats, and I shall be watching with interest. Thank you for being on the show this afternoon, Nicole.
Thank you for having me.